Okay, let's get started. So the topic for today is rebounding. No, it's not written down here. That's just me, for no reason, glancing at my kanji cards, my flashcards. So rebounding in relationships. I've seen this countless times throughout the years. When people my age, when I was in middle school, for crying out loud, all the way up to a full-fledged adults and everything in between. And oftentimes when people rebound, it's usually to escape something within ourselves. That something happens to be pain, but not just pain, but it happens to be our souls communicating to us. Because we want to have this escape, we hop on and we latch on to somebody else. And yet we don't think about the fact that because we never took the time to heal, right? Because we want to avoid all of those thoughts that come to us that tells us maybe it was our fault, maybe we made a mistake, maybe we're not good enough, maybe no one will really love me ever again. Why did this person do this to me if that was, a person left you? So what we end up doing is we end up trying to sublimate, put down these thoughts that are coming to us, and we hop to someone else. A lot of times I hear men do this all the time. When asked, they ask other men. It's the worst advice ever. It's honestly the worst advice anybody can ever give you. I hear men ask other men. They say, "Hey, listen, I'm hurt. I'm in pain because something my girlfriend cheated on me or she left me. What do I do?" And they say, "Well, to get over her, start sleeping with somebody else." And it's the worst thing you can do. And the reason why is because if you are in pain because of someone left you, it means that you are still spiritually tied to that person, which is just natural. And instead of breaking that spiritual tie, now what you're seeking to do is create a new spiritual tie with somebody else. So essentially, now every single time you're with this person, you're looking at this person, whether you want to or not, you are going to be comparing them to the last person, who really what you want to do is be leaving them as far behind. So you're hoping that this person, and this is the most emotional, and I'm going to be real, if you're a guy, it's the most feminine thing you can do, is to go to a woman and say, "I'm so needy that I need you to remove my suffering from me." And even if you're a woman doing the same thing, because this ultimately spiritually does nothing for you, but you're going to start compounding more karma. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up sabotaging that relationship because all these little, nuances are going to start to follow. When you see this person do something, you see them act a certain way, you're going to start to trigger back and go back to, wait, what that person? Now you have insecurities. These are going to showcase. You never actually got over that hurt. And a lot of times we're trying to show up the other person and show off, and really it comes back to the ego. The fact that we're weak, but we don't want to acknowledge it. I remember being there years ago. And it's not a fun place to be, but it's actually the best place to be. Because when your emotions are put to the test like that, it's no different than muscles. You're now working. It's no different than your brain. Like, you study so much that you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't take anymore. And the brain feels like it's boom, boom, it's pulsating. Building those synapses. And it's very important for the nervous system as well. When someone seems to break your heart, right? And you start to feel almost like you're getting a panic attack. You're feeling anxiety. But then what ends up happening? What ends up happening is you sit with the pain, right? You meditate on it, but you sit with it. And you don't run from it. You don't try to self-medicate it. You understand it. And then this is what's the big one is if you really want to get over like lost love and stuff like that, you seek to understand the other person. And I'm not saying from the point of view of like, well, I'm going to love them even though they treated me wrong. No. What I'm saying is you learn to let them go. You don't try to hold on to them at all, even in your mind. When that person says, "Hey, I choose this person over you," instead of going like, "Oh, F this, blah, 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 blah," or "I hope, da, 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 da," go, interesting. All right, well, hope that works out for you. And then move on. Just like that, move on. Don't have the comparison between you and the person they choose over you. Don't think about what it is that they're trying to do. Don't think about why. And when I say don't think about this, what I mean to say is don't attach yourself to it. Like when it comes, allow the thoughts to come. And like I said, understand the other person. Like, okay, she somehow thought that he would be a better pick than me. Are All right, well, that's her decision. Plain and simple. Like it's. I mean, I say simple. It's not simple at the time, but really, that train of thought is. It's really the best road to take. And if you want, then like I said, you can move on and then eventually move to another relationship. But that time with ourselves is so critical. It's so imperative to understand ourselves, understand why do I feel this way, and think to yourself like, well, okay, I'm sitting up here, I'm feeling this way. It's like, but I still got things to do. I have goals to conquer. I have a whole life in front of me. Look at your life just like it's a movie, like it's a book. If you want to make a journal and understand that this is just one piece of that puzzle, one episode in that story, and see that this story goes on and on and on and on and on. Make make that a motivational experience. Be grateful to that person for doing what they did. In a sense, they showed you the way. And if anything, they freed you up. Because if they didn't leave you now, they would have eventually left you later. So at least now, even if you spent some years with that person, be grateful it wasn't twice that long. And let them go. Move their own way. And then you go your way. And then that's because really, if you have negative associations with that person, you know what's going to happen? Your connection to them has become much more deeper. So the whole idea here is, and honestly, whether you're a man or female, the worst thing that you could, I'm just saying, if you really want to so-called get back to the other person, it's not, the stupidest thing people say is get somebody new. No, the best thing you can do is not be fazed by it. Move on and say, and when you see them, you say, hey, life's going good. Great. Me too. Bye. See ya. If you see them, you're like, man, they're going to feed off that energy. Because chances are, if they hurt you, I'm not saying that in all cases they don't care about you, but I'm just going to say that they're not thinking about you. I'm just saying, if they left you, they're probably now not thinking about you. They're not at home thinking to themselves, I hope he's okay. I really hope that she's doing well. I hope that her life, they're not. And you have to get that into your head, right? And not have the neediness of saying, I want this validation from that person by them coming back to me, and I don't need validation from this person by them filling this hole inside of myself. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If someone leaving you leaves a hole inside of you that needs to be filled, that means that that hole was there before that person got there. And it took them leaving you for you to recognize that. So that's all I'm going to say about that, man. Good luck.